Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you. How are you, lifers? I am just checking in with you as I am fortunate to be able to do on Saturday mornings. And I pray that all is well. Whatever you have to do today, I pray that you are doing it, of course, with God's grace pushing you and behind you, whether it be running errands, taking care of business, or even attending a funeral or doing some things that you didn't necessarily want to have to do, but you're going to do it. I pray that God gives you the grace, the energy, and the joy, which means the internal joy and peace to be able to complete all that you go forth in today. It is a good Saturday. The sun is out. Of course, I can't wait to get outside, but I did not want to go forward without making sure I share with you. And so today, with the Life Nugget, I want to kind of hone in on marriage today. Yes, I know that some of the lifers are not married, and that's okay. But we at 25ToLife want to make sure that we hone on part of our mission, or a lot of our mission, which is to build families and to build marriages and keep them encouraged and to pour into as best that we can, however the Lord sees fit. And of course, He does that in so many ways. But today, I pray that this little, not little, because nothing we do for God is little, but this nugget will be a blessing to you. I want to share with you something that God gave me a long time ago. And I've written about it in my book. I've also shared about it on different platforms, videos, blogs, or what have you. It's something about, it's called A.I.R partners. A.I.R partners. And A.I.R would be A.I.R, right? A.I.R, the A stands for accountability. The I stands for integrity. The R stands for responsibility. So when I say A.I.R partners, I use this as one of our lead-ins, or one of the things that we stand on when it comes to married couples. Because I think it's so important that we have people, or that we surround ourselves with people that are doing the same thing that we're doing, and have some of the same goals or the same missions that we have. You do yourself a disservice if you do not surround yourself with people who are in agreement with the mission that you have, especially in marriage. I mean, the truth be told, when you're married, yeah, you got your spouse and y'all together and you lean on each other, and can't nobody do you like them. Trust me, I get it. I've been there, am there. I pray to stay there until the end of time. And yet, even after being together for such a long time, raising 4 children, being able to be blessed with 3 grandchildren, having many experiences in our lives, ups, downs, highs, lows, whatever they may be, one of our best blessings, and one of the things that are most essential for me, for my marriage, is my A.I.R partners. And so I wanted to share with you what I believe is a blessing. And if you know these things, happy are you, because you do these things. But if you may have forgotten about it, or you may neglect this particular part of your life, that I just want to encourage you to kind of get back on track. So when I talk about A.I.R partners, first of all, partnerships, it just represents 2 or more people, or a group of people being associated, being connected, working on the same goal, having a mission together. the partnership is valuable. So when I say A.I.R partners, and I talk about accountability, integrity, and responsibility, I talk about how it is so important to have people or couples who can be a part of your life, hold you accountable, cause you to walk in integrity or inspire your integrity, and to remind you of the responsibility that God has put upon you. Whatever your mission is in your marriage, there is a responsibility to it. So when we talk about accountability, we talk about, being accountable. Answer is talks about being able to have something to answer to. You don't move on your own. You seek counsel. You allow people to check in on you. You allow a certain entity to be like, not necessarily your overseer, but just someone who can look into you and say, hey, you all right? You on point? What's going on? You doing this? Have you stuck to your goal? Are you being the best you can be for your spouse? And a lot of this is done just by being around each other. The integrity part of this is making sure that you have strong moral values, not just in public, but in private, right? Making sure that you have someone to look to, that you can glean from, that you can learn from. And not just someone, but a couple. I always say, you need a couple that will mentor you, and then you need a couple that you can mentor. Does that not hold you accountable? I believe it does. And then you need peers as couples. People that you could just connect to, no weight, just people that just keep you grounded, that you can share with, and you can be free with. And then responsibility. A moral obligation. This is what I have. A moral obligation to behave correctly toward your marriage, in respect of your marriage. How much valuable is that? And I just believe that if we stay connected to our A.I.R partners, found us A.I.R partners, and you don't have to walk around and say, hey, I'm looking for an A.I.R partner, but you will kind of see it in your associations, in your environment, right? There is a couple, and I'll say their name, Smiths. I talk about them all the time. The Smiths, who my husband and I have held them up as our mentors and as people, as a couple that we look to and that we learn from. Have we ever just said, you are going to be, no, our mentor, no. But we befriended each other, gotta be over 20, 25 years ago, long. And my husband and I, we were a young couple. And they're not that much older. However, we honored and respected their experience, their integrity, and what they represented. And we all were in the same mission, in the same goal, to live a godly life, to be Christians, and to do the best we could for our families. And so it would be so funny if they did something, accomplished a goal or whatever. We looked at that and we said, hey, is that something that we need to do? It could be as simple as they found a better insurance company. It could be as simple as learning how to handle conflict over a particular situation. It can be anything, but all things matter. And we have grown together. And that's one of my most valuable relationships ever. Miss Dorothy, I trust her with anything. I could tell her anything. And I know my husband feels the same way about her husband, John. That's how we do. When there is trouble, when there is chaos. I remember one time my son fell sick in the middle of the night, and my husband used to work third shift. The first person I called was John, and he made sure he got to my husband, and everything worked out. Like, once I talked to him, I didn't have to worry, because I know that they look out for us like we would look out for them, right? That's most important. And then I have peer couples that when we want to do something, when we want to kick it, when we want to just be out and about, we connect. We connect and we have a great time. I have couples that we like to go away, whether it be a daycation, staycation, or vacation. I have couples that we do that with. I have couples that we can just go kick it. I have couples that we just love to go out to dinner, get together. Have couples that we have things in our home and we have parties, or we go to theirs and we just engage. But it keeps us built up. We have the discussions about different things. And then you always find out that very thing that you might be dealing with, and it doesn't have to be a problem within your marriage, but it could be something with your kids, something on the car, something at your job. All of those things you get to share and you get to learn from, right? And then there are couples that, fortunately, God has allowed my husband and I to be a couple that sometimes people look up to. And I don't think they look up to us because we're perfect. Because we're not. There's no couple that is. But I do believe that the Wades carry a grace of commitment, longevity, authenticity, endurance, and just a healthy love and appreciation, right? And so those things that we have learned, then it has become our responsibility to share with others. Now, we don't knock down people's doors and say, hey, we want to minister to you. Hey, we want to share with you. We don't do that. But every now and then, we'll take a couple out to dinner. Every now and then, we hang out or we do things with other couples. And I know for a fact, we pray for couples, and we try to live by example, right? Air partners are so important. Not long ago, we went out and shared in dinner, and it was a bunch of us, right? So it was all different kinds of couples, newlyweds, people that have been married a very long time, people that are in the middle of marriage. So we had somebody that was married almost 40 years, somebody that was married less than a year, somebody's married 10 years, somebody's married 20 years, young, old, all of that, right? And that is important too, because you can never get to the point where you don't want to be around other couples. You need that. And I'll tell you one thing, the best way for the enemy to get the best out of you, the best out of your marriage, is to isolate you and make you feel like you by yourself, don't nobody understand, or your situation is so private, you can't get help, seek help, or find your way out. And so he seeks to divide. But see, when you're a part of a partnership, when you're a part of a group, when you have air partners, even if we don't know everything, and I'm one, I tell you ain't got to tell me the details. I don't need to know the details. I've been married long enough that whatever happens, happens. I'm not surprised by anything, but I also know that I don't need to know everything, because I do believe the more you know, the more you're responsible for. But I do think that if I see, okay, that you're going through or that you're down, I know I need to pray. I know I need to slide up against you, stay close to you, right? And just check in on you. Or maybe we go to dinner, or maybe we do this or that. But my point is, it's important to stay connected. You need your air partners. You need people that's going to hold you accountable. You as a couple have to be humble enough to say, you know what? This association, this connection matters. And of course, everything is not for a long season. It don't have to be. It's not about that. But when God places people in your life, when God places couples in your life, it is so important to appreciate that season. I went to a renewal, a wedding renewal, and in this marriage renewal, my friend, her wedding party was full of married people. And it was just such an example of A.I.R partners. These were people who, whether for a long period of time or a short period of time, have made an impact on her marriage. And she wanted to share this renewal, 20 years, y'all, 20 years, with them. And all of us that were invited. And it was so beautiful to see. And it spoke to how important it is to stay connected. Because, you know, I'm sure that couple, they've been through a lot of things in 20 years. But it has been the people around them and all of us who have held them up as they have held up others through those rough times, right? And so I just want to encourage you today that for this Saturday, this Life Nugget, get connected to some A.I.R partners. If you're single, get connected to some A.I.R partners. You need people in your life to pull you in, to hone you in. And I know this one, this segment is a little longer than normal, but I want to pinpoint how valuable it is. You can never be too great. You can never have lived too long. You can never have done something so long where you can't learn. And then when you're getting started and you're just getting started in your endeavors, in your relationship, or walking in your singleness, you need people that will hold you accountable. You need people that will walk in integrity and that will encourage you how important integrity matters, right? And you need people that will remind you of your responsibility. And we, as people of God, we don't want to always be responsible. We don't want to be held accountable. You know, we don't think about our integrity. But I want to tell you that matters. Sometimes integrity will get you in the door more than your popularity, your money, your connections. If people know that you are integral, that makes a difference. If people know that you don't have a problem with being accountable, they may put you on the game. If you show yourself to be responsible, you will have more things put before you. You will have more things put before you. And life is a partnership. It really is. It really is. You know how you work out your soul salvation? By how you deal with others. By how you connect to others. By, you know, I say in my prayers a lot, Lord, I thank you for looking beyond my faults and seeing my needs. How much more is it important that we look beyond the faults of others and we see the need? We see where we need to partner up. And I tell you, I love it. I love it because you learn so much. I love young couples because I love to see their energy. I love to see the love. I love learning from them. I love seeing just the freshness. I definitely love older couples because I'm the one I ask questions. How did you do it? Do y'all still? Is everything good? You know, all of that. And I love my peers because, baby, you need somebody you can high five to. You need somebody when y'all talking, everybody ain't looking at you crazy. They understand where you are. You need your couple friends that will be like, don't do that. Or you need to be the one to say, don't do that. Right? It's so valuable, right? And it keeps us at a place where we can keep it moving. And when you know, my God, that your marriage is more than just you being pleased, when you know that your relationship is more than just you being happy, when you understand that your union has an impact beyond your joy, your house, your car, your money, your job, your feeling good, when you understand that, you take it to a whole nother level. There are times when My husband and I have walked out of our doors and we weren't feeling the best about each other, baby. But we kept on going. And in the midst of that, God began to work it out, right? In the midst of that. But it's because we know that it's bigger than us. And if we could just have you ever just had a date with some girlfriends or some buddies or your couple's friends and y'all didn't even feel like going? You was like, oh. And then you get there and then you have such a great time. You forget what was irritating your relationship. You were forgetting what you was mad about. Y'all kicking it together. Y'all laughing. Y'all doing everything. And you come on home and have a beautiful evening. Have a beautiful night. And God has mended that together. You know why? Because we are bearing up one another. That's what we're doing. We're air partners. We are holding one another accountable. We are ensuring that we all walk in integrity. And we are encouraging the responsibility. So I thank you for this time, because I know it's a little bit longer, but I pray it'll bless you. I pray it'll bless you. Listen, I pray that you have an amazing day. And let me tell you this, don't let nobody steal your happy. It is the gift from God. It is his gift. And in the Bible, a lot of times, blessed means happy, secure, all of that. Your happiness is not going to be based on circumstances, but it's going to be based on the fact that you know God is backing you. And just remember that. You always have a choice. Choose your happy. Choose your joy. And God will bless you still. Happy Saturday. I love you, lifers. And until next week, take care.